This is Elmer Elf. He visited my mother's classroom every year when she was a teacher. He has visited with first grade, second grade, third, and fourth, and all of the children of the school knew and loved him. When I was in high school, I wrote a story about why he began coming to my mother's classroom. It is that story that I wish to tell you now. I hope you enjoy. The title of my story is Elmer's New Job. It was written by myself, Sarah Blecky, and all of the pictures were drawn by a good friend, Kevin Anderson. Elmer lived and worked in Santa's workshop as a toy maker. Unlike all of the other elves who worked together to create well-built toys, Elmer worked alone. Elmer made many toys each day, usually more than everyone else. He bragged about how much faster and better he was and told the elves they better be careful or Santa would start to like him best. The other elves never worried about what Santa thought. You see, since no one ever checked Elmer's toys, most of them were broken. The elves knew that all that mattered was that the toys they made were made right. As it got closer to Christmas, the elves had to work longer hours and a little faster to get things done. Still, no toys went unchecked. That is, all the toys except the ones Elmer made. Elmer told the elves he would check his own, but that rarely happened. Elmer thought he could not make a mistake. One day in late November, Santa decided to check up on the elves. As he walked through the workshop, he picked up toys to inspect them. Each time he inspected a toy, he smiled, happy with the work that had been done. Until he got to Elmer's toys. As he inspected a toy dump truck, a frown came over his face. The wheels on the truck didn't move, and the dumper wouldn't dump. Santa tried another one, but it had the same problem. With each toy he tried, the more unhappy he became. Santa took Elmer into his office to have a talk with him. It was clear that Elmer was not cut out to be a toy making elf. Santa decided to try him out as a lookout. Elmer's new job would be to go out to other parts of the world and keep an eye on little children to make sure they behave themselves. Then he was to tell Santa everything he saw. Elmer's first stop was a school classroom, room 1A at St. Luke's School in Erie, PA. The first rule of being a lookout was don't move. He had to sit very still whenever there were people in the room. The second rule was not to lie about the children because you liked them. When Elmer first got to the classroom, he left a message on the board introducing himself. Then he took his place sitting on a shelf. He sat very quiet while the children were in the room, although sometimes he accidentally moved. Each day, Elmer concentrated on doing a good job. Then at night, he went back to report to Santa. A couple days before Christmas, he left a note on the board to say goodbye to the class. He went back to the North Pole for the rest of the year. Elmer really enjoyed visiting Mrs. Blecky's first grade class. He decided to go back there each year to keep an eye on all of the children. So, if you go visit Mrs. Blecky's first grade classroom a week or so before Christmas, Look carefully. You just might see Elmer Elf. Look even closer, and he might just move. And remember, you should always be good. You never know when Elmer or one of the other lookout elves might be watching. Elmer visited my mother's classroom from 1991 until she retired at the end of the 2012-2013 school year. He was loved by all and received letters every day from the current class as well as the classes that came before. He now visits her grandchildren each year who love him and look forward to seeing him. I hope you enjoyed my story.